say when there are no words? Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, 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 cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging dare? And when your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, 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 cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea.
Indeed. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. Welcome to a brand new season of endurance racing here in Project Cast 2 for Apex Online Racing. Season number 4, round 1, as you can see, the Autodromo Nazionale Monza. My name is King-Kodiak and I'll be your commentator throughout this 2-hour race. And oh my god, in case you can't tell, I'm rather excited to get this season underway. 3 classes this time. LMP18, the brand new LMP1 2016s. Seems odd saying new and 2016 in the same sentence, but you know what I mean, the recently released. We have got the GTEs, of course, and the LMP2s are going to be in this class. Unfortunately, I was hoping Doc would join me in the commentary box, which is why I'm on the director's chair, but never mind, we are here nonetheless. Welcome to everybody in the stream. It is good to have you all along. You all know Monza, that is what it looks like, this classic track, the Temple of Speed. We are underway, as you can see. 20-minute qualifying now. Unlike previous seasons, it's not a case of the GTEs go first and everybody else goes on afterwards. Everybody is able to come out on track straight away. So everybody has got to be careful to give themselves adequate amount of space. We are looking at the Lord God of the Endurance Series. It's Andrex. This is his team has got this underway. So congratulations to Andrex and the coordinators and moderators that have made this possible. Cannot wait to get this underway. A lot of new names, such as this one, Llama. Welcome to you. He's in one of the LMP180s. That looks very much like the Audi. That is indeed the Audi. Weird, unusual kind of square-ended one. Conor McCoy has yet to leave the pit. He's in one of the LMP2s. That's the Ligier. Marauder in the M6. Very nice growling M6 there. He is coming through the Dorogia on his way down to the Lesmos. Endless in the... I think it's the Audi. Can't quite... Yes, it is. Audi Sport says so on the... says so on the windscreen there. Larkso in the LMP2. Everybody getting some heat into their tyres. Brzanczyk returns to the series. He is in... It's actually difficult to tell from that camera angle what he's in. That's an LMP2. Can tell... Oh, it's an LMP1H. I beg your pardon. I can tell there's an LMP2. Yeah, completely wrong. Oh, he's running the Porsche, the 919H. The groundbreaking car that blitzed the record at the Nordschleife. Now, one thing I will say is the KERS icon, as is given away by the fact that we're looking at an Aston, it says Odan. My screen still says Odan. It's actually the Hunter. My game refuses to update that, unfortunately. But that is actually the Hunter. And, yeah, the KERS icon does not work properly from a spectator standpoint. Lucas, that is the Audi he is in. Oh, that low grounding Audi. Oh, someone's already got a time on the board. It's F1 Racer. He's in one of the GTEs. It's a Porsche that he is in. Look how... If I bring up the wrong one. If I bring up the map, look at that! People are going to be squabbling over getting some track space. So F1 Racer was very, very quick to get out there and get on with it. Wow, that's close. Now, it has been agreed that if you have your lights on during a qualifying lap, it indicates to others you are on a hot lap. You're on a timed lap, please get out of my way. Obviously, where applicable. F1 Racer, that's a little close to the LMP1H. Oh! That's one of the M6s off into the dust. So, unfortunately, you don't know who. So, oh, there's another. I was just about to say, F1 Racer is the only man with the time on the board. He's the only GTE with the time on the board. As Lucas, a new name to the series. Welcome to you. In the Audi, gets his name on the board. Low growling Audi R8. Brzanczyk in the Porsche 919 gets into second position with that 1:32.345. Now, this is kind of essentially an extended qualifying session. The starting position bears no real importance in an endurance race, as the Hunter in that lovely Aston. Oh, he's taking an alternative. He was off on the short circuit there. Dawu in the Corvette. Now, the Corvette was exceedingly strong last season in the GTE field. Starting to see some times come in. That's one of the LMP2s, one of the Ligiers. Usually it's the Nissan that's used in the LMP2 cars. Ooh, Berserker has jumped to the top of the LMP. Look! I'm looking at this field wincing because everything's so close. Berserker by half a second has just jumped to the top of the time sheets. Someone is in one of the black Fords there. Nicely done. 1:27.473. Knocking Lucas down. It's Yorkie! The SMS representative, he is in the Toyota TS50. He is in third, 1:29.466. Worn tyre jumps into fourth position. Oh dear, that's someone going off at the Del Rogia. R18. I said R8, didn't I? Yeah, that's the blooming LMP900. Thank you, Nick. Oh dear, that's one tyre got off to build sandcastles. It's not the quickest way of doing it. Conor McCoy. He's opting for one of the LMP2s this time. 1:36.506. Lead of class at the moment. So a few people without time on the board. So we'll get through them just so we can introduce everybody. That's so close. So very close coming to the last place. There's Larkso. 1:39.528. He's got a bit of time to find to get to the top of the LMP field. Oh, he's running the Honda engine in that LMP2. Now that's interesting. We didn't really see anybody run anything other than Nissan engines, I believe, in the LMP2. But that low growl is the definitive sound of the Honda engine. Until somebody tells me I've got that wrong as well. One tyre. I think it's got in there somewhere. In the... What's he in? That's the TS50 Toyota. 1:32, 1:50. Oops! That's not how you do it, Al Roger. Oh, wow, that's going to hurt. Who else can we find? Spudbuster in the Porsche. 1:36.413. I think it's fair to say that there's more time to find in the LMP1Hs. As he's caught up a little bit in the LMP2s. TX3 Ulti in the Thrustmaster coloured LMP2. He's running that Nissan engine in there. Larkso's been demoted to third in class now. Quick win! Also running the Honda engined Ligier. Oh dear, that's someone doing a bit of lawn mowing in the background. 1:40.417 for Gwegwin, currently fourth in class, and Nunu. So across the line, that's actually an LMP1H he's in, so as he's in amongst the LMP2s, I think it's fair to say he's got some time to find. Along with Lama, who we saw earlier, who's on a time lap, as indicated by the fact his headlights are on. Juri Seenberg. I have commented on this particular individual before, so welcome back to you. In 6th in class in the LMP2s, 1:41.632, and Raging Beard. So in the LMP2, I'm just enjoying the noise of that Aston. We do not hear that Aston enough. Dawu leads the GT. I nearly said GT3s. I knew I'd say that at some point. GTEs, begging your pardon. Just going to double check that. Nope. So I'm just double checking something there. I do apologise for the gap in the stream there. 1:43.901 leads by just over a second from O'Donnell. Hunter is he's actually some more times jumping in. Cornwall has just jumped into second in the Porsche. 1:44.753. That's still 8/10 between himself and Darwin. Oh, that's one of the LMP2s jumping out of the way. There's Ticklish Picklewickle in fourth in the Porsche as well. It's good to see the Porsche getting some representation. Flecky and Sky in the yellow Ford in the pits, not yet moving. Plenty of time in the qualifying session to go. Andrex in the Aston, screaming along the straight, starting a lap, one would assume, 1:44.932. Currently, he's jumped up to third in class indeed. So, as I'd gone to him, he just crossed the line and jumps up to third in class. There is TPW crossing the line. Does he improve? He does not. So, starting a lap, 1:45.356 is his target to beat Smolder. He is in the Corvette. Love the growl of that Corvette. Oh dear, he's had an argument with something. That's a rearranged nose on that one. Through Ascari. Oh, that was very deep. I would have compromised his exit a little bit. He's being chased home by one of the Porsches. Lindholt in the black Ford. Not many Fords, interestingly. Now, last season we didn't really see the Porsches. There was a lot of Fords and Corvettes. Does Lindholt improve? 1:46.497. He's just been demoted by F1 Racer. 1:45.341 in the Porsche. Marauder, there he is in the M6. This track is not suiting the mighty BMW at the moment. 1:47.017. And there is the second black Ford of Carbon Cutter. 1:47.699. At the tail of the GTE field. 28 drivers. I am very happy about that. Only 4 not on track at the moment. So again, bring up the map. It's pretty busy. But mostly, except for around the Rettifilio, it looks like there's a bit of problem down there. It looks like most people have found some space. Let us follow Berserker as he's just coming through the Rettifilio. Let's follow him through a lap. That's how much the the LMP1Hs can see. The LMP2s aren't a great deal better. Through Curva Grande. Oh, he went for the apex a little early then. He had to actually back out of that. No, can't. I was going to try and turn the interface off, but you can't do that from the director's chair. Oh, tail getting very squirrely, coming through Del Roggia. Towards the first Lesmo. Doesn't matter what you're in, you can't take it flat. He bounced off the apex and has sent that one off into the dust. 1:27.473 still holds that pole time by half a second. That is his lap done. Lucas has got himself a whole pack of people to try and come past. He's gone past the Lesmos and he's He's coming into Ascari now. Oh, and it's so easy to do that. It's so easy just to get the power on that slight bit too early, or you catch that apex, the first apex coming into Ascari, and the tail just will not stick. And that is the end of his... Oh, that's someone we didn't see. TXV Endless has put his time into third. Only 2 people within a second of Berserker's amazing time, actually. 1:28.397 for the Audi. And he's staying right there. Under 8 minutes to go now. One tyre up to 4th. 1:28.867, a half a second down from Endless at the moment. Not on a hot lap, as you can see. In fact, he hasn't got his light on, but he's giving himself quite a decent amount of... How much fuel has he got on? He's got plenty of fuel, so I suspect he's now probably going to stick the lights on and floor it. Yeah, there he goes. The curse systems in these things are utterly brutal. They will absolutely launch you towards the sharp end of your speedo very, very quickly. Turns 1 and 2 down the Rettifilio. It's a little bit wide in the exit. Berserkers comes back into the pits. Through Curva Grande. Nice and smooth. Stays right over to the right hand side. Very, very much so. He's going to go under there. Hard on the brakes. Get some energy back in the cursed battery. Oh, and very twitchy coming into the Dalrogia. He's 86 thousandths down. You can gain that back. Throws it into Lesmo 1. Wow, that was that was determined. So one of the Astons ahead. Could well be Andrex. He was running the Aston. Now, something to bear in mind, that it is the prerogative of the faster car to make their way around the slower one. The slower car does not have to jump out of the way. Oh, and again, Warthog just caught that first apex, unsettled the car, 2.5 seconds down. That is his lap done. He's even backed off and not even put his lights on, look. So, 6 minutes of this qualifying session remaining. Glad to see you all in the chat. Glad to have you all along. We have got just under 6 minutes remaining of the qualifying session. Berserker leads the way in the LMP1Hs with that 27.473, which he actually set very, very early on. Has yet to be beaten, half a second behind him is Lucas. The top 2 not coming out of the pits. Head of the LMP2 field is Ulti for the TX3 squad. Colonel McCoy in second. He's just started a lap. I would think from there, lights are on. Coming through the rest of the video. And there goes one of the LMP1Hs to get around him. Also, the quicker the car, the more downforce they have by and large. Of course, they're going to be running very skinny wings anyway, but even still, that's not going to be too much of a bother for the Porsche to go that wide around Curva Grande. Head of the GTEs is Cornwall now with a 1:43.755. Dawu is out on track. He's in the Corvette. Those are bright yellow lights staring angrily at the camera. Into the Parabolica. Let it run quite right to keep the momentum up. Does Dawu improve? He's got 1.5 tenths to find to regain that pole spot. Answer. He does improve in time, but not in position. Look at that. Not even a tenth separates Cornwall and Dawu. Dawu has enough time, has enough fuel on board for another one. Looks like he's pressing on to do another lap. 4.5 minutes remain. What is the track temperature? I'm not certain on that one. As I confess, I cannot remember what time of day this is being run at. Oh, that was very deep into the Retfilia, into the Del Loggia. I always get those two the wrong way around, but he's 2 tenths up. Dawu looking strong to claim the top spot. The GT is sliding that Corvette around Lesmo 1. Then riding the banking well. Oh, he's ran a little bit wide there. Screaming through towards Ascari. the gaps between our drivers getting very, very short. Worn tyres actually jumped up to third in the LMP 180s, I can see. 1:28.324. That's a very impressive time indeed through Ascari. And he's lost all that time. I suspect it was where he ran wide on the exit of Lesmo 2 was where that went wrong for Darby. Lucas is on track, but running a little slowly. I think there was an Aston trying to get out of his way. He's on a hot lap apparently with his lights on, so we'll see if he's able to improve. He's got half a second to find. Less than 3 minutes to go now. And he's already that much down, so he will not, unless he drives an absolutely godlike lap. It would be impressive to find 8/10 out there. There is Endless, a strong front runner in last season's endurance racing. He's coming into Ascari now. Kill the map now. Can't tell who that is ahead of him. Another one of the Audis. Audi quite well represented here this evening. Into the Parabolica, very determined, very well committed, coming through the long right-hander. And over the line, does Endless improve? He does indeed. He's taken the pole by nearly a full second. 1:26.540 is the new pole time in the LMP ones. And he's still coming out again, coming out for a bit more practice. Berserker is not doing the same, interestingly. Zenny, yes, we haven't actually seen Zenny at all. I mean, he's taken the top of the LMP2s. 1.5 minutes to go. Oh, it's going to be very, very tight for anybody coming out to get their out laps done. They might do it, but it's not looking likely considering how much traffic is out there. Zenny is out again, along with almost all. The only person not coming out again from the LMP2 field is Jury. I can't pronounce that correctly, and that's what he told me to call him. This is Cornwall has the top of the GTE field with that 1:43.755. We saw Dawood try and usurp him, wasn't quite there, and TBW has stopped that Porsche somewhere on track. We didn't quite see where that was. Andrex is crossing the line. Oh, no, beg your pardon, he has crossed the line to start another lap. Currently fourth in the Aston. Endless is out there to try and beat his already impressive time. Yeah, and have to get on with it. Just 40 seconds to go. He's chasing one of the Porsches. Oh, steady on, gents. Don't be racing each other now. Oh, that is so close. Whoa, that's exceedingly close. There may well be some words said about that. There's nothing technically stopping you from racing during qualifying, but it's not going to help either of you really. But Endless is out there looking to get another lap on the board with whoever that was in the Porsche right with him. Oh, what a stunning lap from Endless. So he will start another lap if he so chooses to, and the checkered flag is out. So who is out there? A lot of people were not on track, but these two are very close together. It's not Lucas. Lucas is after the Del Roggia, so he's coming into the Lesmos. One tyre in the Toyota. Oops, too wide on the exit of the second Lesmo. That's his day done. Nunu has crossed the line. He is starting no higher than 6th with that 1:29.430. It was Spudbuster who was chasing the current poleman Endless. He's backed off a bit from the Audi, so he's either made a mistake or that's essentially the end of his qualifying run. Gunnar McCoy is out there in the LMP2s. He's just taken the pole time for the LMP2 category just as we cut to it. 1:35.730. Not even a 10th between himself and Zenny. Very nicely done in the Ligier. Larkso is out there. Streaming on down towards Parabolica. In the underpowered Ligier. Does he improve? 1:36.939 is his time. And over the line he comes. What does he do? Does he improve? In time but not position. 1:36.596 is where he remains. Did Endless improve? He did as well. He took another half a second off. 1:26.024, 1.4 seconds quicker than anyone else on the track. Wow, that's absolutely incredible. Nunu is already across the line. Spudbus has just come across the line, and the Porsche didn't improve from 8th place. 1:30.030. Larkso is already under AI control. What a stunning effort from Endless. Well, we're just going to wait for the qualifying timer to run out, and then we will get this session up properly underway. Or this race, I should say, properly underway. We'll confirm the qualifying order, or the top of the qualifying order, because I won't have time to read out the 28 names before this part ends. So it is Endless, Berserker and Lucas topping the LMP 1Hs, Gunnar McCoy, Zenny and Ulti topping the LMPs, Cornwall, Dawu and Ticklers Picklewickle actually at the top of the GTE field. Very nice indeed. So then, what happens now is we'll head down to the grid, and there will be a 2-minute countdown for anybody to make any alterations to their strategies. Anything they so wish to alter, that is the time to do it. Look at that, the top 3 all Audis in the LMP 1Hs. Obviously Ligiers in the LMPs. And Porsche, Corvette, Porsche. That's interesting, because we didn't really see the Porsches at all in last season. So, 2-minute countdown now for anybody to make any last-minute alterations to their setups that they wish to put into place. You can then obviously think about the strategies they're going to employ. The start isn't overly crucial in a 2-hour race. 2 hours does include the formation lap, so once the lights go out, the cars sit still for 5 seconds, and then the leader, which is of course Endless, will lead the field away for a slow lap, 120 kilometers an hour, 80 miles an hour, around the circuit for the formation lap, where everybody can warm their tyres and brakes and what have you. And then at the formation point, which is after Ascari, I believe, they will form the 2x2 line. Anyone that's seen any of the AOR GT3 races will know how this works. It's exactly the same setup that's used there. So once the field then returns to this position, or anywhere on the start-finish line, Endless can gun it to signify the beginning of the race. So we're just waiting for everybody to ready up. Fine Audi there, top non-Audi LMP was the Toyota of Warren Tyre. There is Yorkie in the next Toyota, Nunu in the next Audi. And the 2 Porsches are Brzancic and Spudbuster, with Llama rounding out the LMP field. Heading the LMP2s, as you can see, is Conor McCoy in the orange car. Zenny and Ulti in the TX3 coloured cars next in line. Larkso in 4th. Everybody revs, but no one's going to move once the lights go out. There is Raging Beard in 5th position. Now that's the name we didn't actually see all qualifying long. What's that? You were with us last season, I seem to recall. Right now the field has gotten underway. Gwegwin. Was Gwegwin a little slow to get underway? No, it was Joe that was... oh no, it was WhatsApp, sorry, that was a little bit slow getting off his mark. Oh, that's going to be long from that take. So Gwegwin 7, Joe in 8. Has spotted someone in the chat referred to me as Joe. As you can see, the sun is setting, so it's getting towards dusk and getting quite cool. Cornwall leads the GTEs. He is in the Porsche, as we know. Darwin in the Corvette. Then it is TVW, Tickets Picklewickle, in the next Porsche. In 3rd, the lead Aston is Andrex in 4th, with the next Aston Odan on my screen. That is the Hunter. Smolder in the next Corvette, in line with Lindholt in the lead Ford. F1 racer in the Porsche in 8. Flecky on Sky in the yellow Ford with Carbon Cutter in the black Ford. And Marauder in the Soul M6 at the tail of the field. Jumping back up to the front, if we bring up the speeder, you can see there. Now, I run in miles an hour. Apologies for those that prefer kilometers an hour, but I'm English. So Endless will, of course, he will speed up, slow down, but he will maintain around about. It's actually a little bit quick there. It's a bit slower than that. As you can see, the field is. Bring up the map. It's quite condensed, but there's a bit of a gap. I know what he's done. He's looked to split the LMP1s away from the LMP2s. So now what's going to happen if we jump to the back of the LMP1Hs, which is there. So they'll be told to condense because that's actually split the LMP1s. And the rest of the fields, you can see from the map, have really slowed down. That's to give the LMP1Hs a chance to just get ahead so I can cover the start. But unfortunately, the LMP1s have split up a little bit. They're now forming up. The pole man Endless will be on the right-hand side, and then it'll be 2 by 2 in grid formation following on. As you can see, Zenny and Conor McCoy at the head of the LMP2s are a little distance back, and then those bright yellow lights of the GTEs following on in suit. Here we go then, the LMP1Hs just forming up very, very last minute. It's up to Endless then as to when he floors it. It is any moment from now. It is up to him. There he goes. We are... Whoa, wow, he's caught Berserker completely napping there. And we are racing here in Monza. As Endless then is going to have a fairly... Wow, goodness me. That is an exceedingly late move. That was Nunu that flew through. He's caught... is that Lucas that's in trouble? I think so. I'm trying to click on the name. He's fallen through the field. It was Lucas that was shoved onto the inside of that first chicane. Spudbusters there as well. And Llama bringing up the tail end of the LMP1. His Brazanchik has fallen right the way back to the tail of the field. The LMP2s are now underway. And you can see the GTEs are quite close. They'll be starting very soon. Conor McCoy leading the field of LMP2s into the rest of the video. Is there going to be any problem here? Zenny hanging on to second. Ulti 3. There is... Oh, Ulti's lost that third. He's been shoved off. He's going to pretty much fall to the back of the LMP field. The GTEs are now underway. Cornwald in the Porsche, nearly getting shoved by the Corvette. Oh, and that's Andrex up to third then. Where's the... Oh, TBW is right the way down there in 6th. Or 23rd overall. He's had a terrible start in the second Porsche there. But everybody seems to have gone through okay. Although saying that, the LMP1s are already... Look at that. You can actually see on the map how well the LMPs have spread out already. Berserker is hanging on to the back of Endless. They have really split away from Yorkie and Lucas in 3rd and 4th in class. It's, who's that that's fallen off the back? That's Nunu. It's after such a strong start. May well have picked up damage early on. And no one's coming into the pits yet for the LMP1s. Let's see how the LMP2s are doing. Of course, it's very difficult to cover everybody at this early stage. Everyone in the LMP2 seems to be doing okay. Yet again, it's the top 2 from the LMP2s that have broken away as Conor McCoy and Zenny. And the Nissan-powered EGAs. Oh, wow, what a move from Zenny. Look at that. As we got on to chase cam, you can see the headlights of Conor McCoy to the left. What a great dive, but he hasn't got the drive from the exit of the Parabolica, and Conor McCoy just powered back past him to retake the lead of the class. Great effort then from these two. Of course, racing at this early stage is not so much counterintuitive, but it's not quite what you look for in an endurance race. Let's check out what our GT is. Cornwall still leading the way. No particular breakaways in the GTE field. As you can see, Andrex is keeping right in touch then with Cornwald and Daru in the Porsche and Corvette. I love that. The top 3 all represented by completely different cars. Andrex in the Corvette, in the Andrex, Andrex in the Andrex. Now that would be rather interesting. In the Aston, it's going to be a long night. I'm tripping over my words already. But you can see on the map though that the LMP1s will be with the GTEs very, very soon. Top 3 really battling well in the GTE field. Lucas is right on the tail of Yorkie. I will kind of jump around trying to keep up with everybody. It's of course absolutely impossible, as I am the only one in control of the cameras. So Endless has broken away by 3 seconds over Berserker already. This is not how you start, it is how you finish that really matters. Lucas staying with Yorkie. Coming up to Del Roger again. Long way to go in this 2-hour race. No one having to come into the pits early on. Oops! And that was Warntie getting a little bit tripped up there on the Del Roger and the Toyota. But he continues nonetheless. Brzanczyk has got company there in 8th position as darkness falls. That's Spudbuster straight ahead of him and Nunu right behind. So Nunu getting back into his stride after what started off as a promising start but hasn't gone well. That is Wasap that's on the back of Larkso. Larkso's gone up to 3rd position now in the LMP2s. 1.5, just under 1.5 actually behind Colonel McCoy. Colonel McCoy had a very bad lap last time around. You can see the gap for the lead of the LMP2s. Into the Del Roger. Now I'm seeing a question in chat about swapping cars. That only applies to the Audi. The reason why... Oh, speaking of early pit stops, we have got Carbon Cutter bringing his Ford in. The reason why the Audi R18 runners are allowed to swap is because it's essentially exactly the same car. The only difference is the downforce options available to it. The Le Mans version has the low downforce options, the Fuji version has the high downforce options. There isn't such there's no such differentiation between any other LMP car. Therefore, if you run in the Audi, you can swap between the two, but you couldn't swap to a completely different car. An Audi runner can't swap to a Porsche or a Toyota, for instance. And now we're starting to see the tail of the GT field getting caught with the LMPs. So again, what's happening here is the GTs are allowed to completely hold their line. They are not obliged to jump out of the way of the LMPs unless they feel it is completely safe to do so. So if we jump on board, for instance, look at that. All the LMPs are, all the GTs are sticking over to the left-hand side. That makes it nice and easy for the LMPs to be able to predict where to make the pass. If the GTs start jumping out of the way, it makes it much more difficult for the faster cars to then predict what's going on. Especially if you're in a position like Lucas, where you're actually chasing for a position, and you have to try and and there, you saw the Porsche there. Oh wow, that was a lovely deployment of gears there by Lucas to fly past Yorkie and claim that 3rd position. You saw how quickly the Audi was closed in on the Toyota. That was purely down to curves. It's gone a little bit deep into rest video. Oh, that's a little bit close, and there goes another burst of curves then from the Toyota. Doesn't quite pull off as Lucas was able to deploy his curves to defend. And on that battle goes, and it's going to be continuing for a while, but you can see all these GTE cars. That's the front of the GTE class actually. That's Andrex. You go on board with him, you'll see it from his perspective. There goes the LMPs. Now you saw that Andrex just completely holds his line. He is not, like I said before, he's not obliged to jump out of the way. He couldn't have taken the inside there for Let's Move 1 because he knew there was someone there. So he was quite right to stay out of the way for that particular car. But he does not have to jump away, and it's unwise for them to do so because it makes their actions that much more difficult to predict and much more likely to cause an accident. Brzanczyk in the Porsche is getting through the GT field as well. He's not too far on the back of Spudbuster. Our first 10 minutes done. If you're wondering why I pause, not even I can carry on high intensity talking for 2 hours straight. Even I need to have a drink. Now the best lap delta is going to be fairly irrelevant for most of it, because as you can see from this one shot, you'll see how the LMPs have got to work their way past the GTEs. Now if a car is being passed... Oh! Is that Nunu? That's Nunu again that's in trouble. Ah, there's been an issue there. Spudbuster had pulled over and allowed Nunu through, so there was a bit of an impact there, and I'll explain that in a second. There was obviously some kind of a pass that happened between Spudbuster and Nunu, possibly getting tangled up in the traffic. And because... Oops! Spudbuster getting a little bit of a hurry up there into the Rata video by one of the black Fords. A little bit brutish. Who's that? Is that going to be Lindholm? Yeah, that was indeed, because there's a Porsche directly ahead, which I recognise as TBW. So what happened there with Spudbuster was that there was clearly an overtake that happened either as a result of an impact or as an off-track excursion, and Spud allowed Nunu back into position. Oops, Lucas caught that apex. The apex is hurt in these cars, in the LMP180s. One tyre is actually getting to the back of the two ahead, Lucas and Yorkie. Now, if they catch the apexes hard in the GTEs, it's a little bit inconvenient. You just got to watch how. Look at that! Lucas and Yorkie. No, it's Lorkie then, combining the two. As you saw on board from one tyre, just how Lucas shot past Yorkie. Could be that Yorkie had actually used up all his curves up until that braking point, so then the Audi was able to shoot past the Toyota. Oh, hello! I think Yorkie was expecting Lucas to be a little bit quicker through the Curva Grande then. He had to jump royally out of the way, but one tyre is actually gaining on them. One tyre gained about half a second or so on the pair of them. As they come through, Lesmo 1. Who is that ahead of Lucas? Is that one of the LMP2s? Yeah, that's an LMP2 they're catching up to. Still a lot of battling going on in the GT field, as you can see, is designated by the exclamation mark. Oh, that's deep into Ascari for Lucas. As I was saying before, if a different class of car is coming up behind you, you do not have to jump out of its way. If the same class of car is coming up behind you to put a lap on you, you must obey the blue flags. You cannot hold up a leader of your class. Let's have a look at how the GTEs are doing. Looks like Andrex has fallen off the back of this particular battle for the GTE lead. So if and when these two come to start lapping other GTE cars, they must get out of the way. Same for LMP2 on LMP2, and exactly the same as LMP1H on LMP1H, of course. Screaming on down towards the Parabolica. Doesn't look like Derby wants to let Cornwall go at all. And you can see the exclamation marks reappearing as these three are getting into braking zones. The Toyota of Worn Tyre really getting on the back of Yorkie. Oh, it's Luke. No, he's your. Oops! No, that's not how you take Lesmo 1. Yorkie going for a bit of an excursion through the dust. So easy to do. You get really used to how your car grips, so then you get used to pushing it, and eventually it will let go. Lindholt has brought his car in. That's the Black Ford. Whether that's as a result of that impact he had with Spudbuster coming into the Retifilio. Let's see how long he stays there for. It's not a mandatory pit stop per se, but they won't have enough fuel to do the whole 2 hours, so in a manner of speaking it's a mandatory pit stop. It's mandated by fuel tank size. Out he comes. Took on about 5 litres of fuel. One tyre is hanging on to the back of Yorkie. And so even though Yorkie went for a wander off into the dust. Oh no, there was an LMP2 that went wandering off. Apologies there, Yorkie. That's me blaming you for that one. Yorkie's fallen off the back of Lucas there a little bit. At this stage in the game, it really doesn't matter. You don't need to be chasing hard for the guys ahead. You can see how much these guys are spread out. They're not really paying too much attention to where they absolutely are on track. They're just running their own lines, running their own race for now. It's only really in the closing stage of the race that they have to start thinking about track position and how much harder they need to push. Oh, that was Yorkie running a bit wide on the exit of Lesmo 2. Worn tyre flies past, takes that 4th position from Yorkie. LMP2 flashing his lights, probably as an indication of please come past, I'm not returning to the racing line whilst with this close to Ascari. So then 15 minutes down, let's have a look at where everybody is. TX3 Endless in the Audi. Storms on through. Yellow flag up there at Lesmo 1, but we don't know who or why. Leads by... Oh, that was a bit clumsy there through the ratificio. Would have cost... And there's a little bit of time, but nothing too drastic. Berserker in second. That's the M6. That's... who was running that? Was Marauder. That's running that one. So Berserker has come through, as we've seen, in the next Audi in line. Oh, that's deep. Yeah. You heard how the engine just died off there. There's the brakes locked up. They don't have ABS, these things. They do have traction control if the driver chooses to use it. And as you can quite clearly see on the speedo, Berserker is not. And it's getting into the 28s. He's not hanging around. 28.1. That's a pretty impressive lap time. Lucas is in third. In the midst of the LMP2s, he's also in the Audi. That is worn tyre on his case. So worn tyre, having cleared Yorkie, is now chasing after Lucas. Worn tyre wanted to get up the field. That's fine. Some people want to try and kind of secure, so to speak, a decent position early on. Oh no, he's run too deep at Ascari. That's going to cost him a whole load of time. Here comes Yorkie. It's difficult to tell which car's which sometimes, but worn tyre is the white car. You can see a couple ahead. It's a yellow Ford. Should just duck in behind Yorkie. Oh no! No, that's not how you take. That's not how you take Barry Roddicker. Lindhold's in again. Oh dear. Just coming out of the pits now. He's coming out a whole bucket load of traffic in that black Ford, so the race has not gone well for him. Again, he has to be careful he doesn't just skew into someone, but equally the field have to bear in mind that he is allowed to take his line and needs to be given adequate room, etc, etc. Worn tyre is still on the back of Lucas, as we saw there in fourth position. The Toyota chasing after the top three Audis. Yorkie, we saw have that little bit of excursion earlier in sixth position in car number 6. Lama in the next Audi down the road, coming up to the Darrogia. Very much on his own. He's 13 seconds behind Yorkie, but 7.5 ahead of Brzanczyk, who had a face full of LMP2 then. Now, right behind him is indeed 8th position Nunu, so they are in a battle. Giving a bit of slip. Whoops! That was a little close. Oh no, the tail got away from Nunu there. So having to turn left into a right-hander is never going to go well for you. A bit of dirty air and I think just impatience on the gas there. That's Spudbuster coming through, so that's 8th position changed hands. The Porsche, I think that is. Yep, it's Porsche for Spudbuster has come through into 8th. Demoting Nunu to the back of the LMPs. Let's have a look at our LMP2s. Oh my goodness me, that's a lot of people. Zenny, that's the one he's in, the green Thrustmaster car. Leads the class by 5.6 seconds over Colonel McCoy. This is the engine, that's the Nissan powered UGA he is in, spitting some fire at me. Marxo. That's the blue LMP2 that we've seen having a few issues, but he's right up there actually on par with the top of the tree. Nunu's bringing his car in. I didn't see him hit the wall, so mind you, he's only got 30 litres on board, so maybe he's just decided to come in early, get some fuel on board. So Larsa then up to third in what I believe is the first time I've commentated on Larsa, or certainly first time in a while. There's Mossap. Growl is the Audi behind him, who opted not to dive on the inside of Lesmo 2. That's quite wise, because the LMP2s can take those corners fairly quick, and it is banked as well. So what's up then is 5.2 behind Larso, 4.3 ahead of this man Ulti. Also in the Thrustmaster coloured LMP2. Gwigwin. Go with the chase cam, you'll see which one he is. He's also in the blue LMP coming into Ascari. Nunu's been in the pits for quite a while, I can see. Chasing the yellow Ford. Raging Beard. Minding his own business there in 7th position in class. He's the yellow LMP there at the back of the field. Nunu is, oh wow, Nunu has been in there a long time, so there must have been considerable damage then on that Audi for him to have been in pits so long. And Joe at the back of the LMP2s, it's really not going well for him, but he presses on nonetheless. 12 seconds behind Raging Beard. Leader of the GTEs then is Cornwall still. He still has got Dawu in that Corvette for company. They have been locked in that battle since the beginning. And it doesn't look like Dawu. I have a thing for mixing up names. That maybe became Darwold. Andrex in 3rd in the Aston. Has fallen away now, so he could just be opting not to run so close to the top 3. Not too far off their pace, about 7/10 down last time around. It is running very, very well. A very strong 3rd then for Andrex in the Aston. There is Odan, or Hunter as he's actually known as, also in the Aston Martin. 6 seconds behind Andrex, 2.2 ahead of Smolder, who is in the Corvette. And has some LMPs there for company. As he comes into the Parabolica. Ticklish Bicklewickle, the lead Porsche. Oh, that was a strange, magically disappearing car there. That's some lag going on there with one of the LMP2s. I think it's one of the LMP2s. Yeah, who's running that red? Is it WhatsApp? That's WhatsApp that's been lagging around these. Yeah, there he goes again. Look. Okay, that's an unusual line through Retro Video. I think it's fair to say that WhatsApp has got a major connection problem. As F1 Racer brings his car in. Oh dear! That's not a happy looking Porsche. Marauder in the M6 continues on his way. He's behind Ticklish Bicklewickle now, but 12.5 seconds behind. In the Soul BMW with Flecky One Sky. Oh, hang on. Did we say Smolder? Did we talk about Smolder in the Corvette? Yes, I think we did. Then TBW. Marauder, as previously mentioned, with Flecky on Sky and the yellow Ford. F1 Racer brings that very battered Porsche in. Carbon Cutter is in the black Ford. He's in there somewhere. Oh, that's why the camera couldn't find him. He's taking an alternate line through Ascari. Staying very much out of everybody's way. That's an extreme way of doing it, but effective nonetheless. And Lindholt in the second black Ford. As several people going for an excursion through the dust there on the second Lesmo. F1 Racer still there, look. Still, as we approach the first 30 minutes gone, Lucas is still on the back of Yorkie. Those two have been swapping that 3rd position for quite a while. They find themselves 30 seconds nearly down from the leader. Larkso is getting to the back of Colonel McCoy. I think that's one of the Toyotas trying to come through. You can flash your lights, which is correct. You are allowed to do that when you're lapping a car. Although I think what that actually is, I think that's actually a graphic bug from my side, because everybody seems to flash on the exit of the Curva Grande for some reason. So Larkso doing his best to keep up with Colonel McCoy. He gained actually a couple of seconds. Colonel McCoy, every time I look at his lap time, seems to have had a bit of a mare. But that again is more than likely traffic related. And we have got our first casualty. That was indeed WhatsApp. Has gone. His connection decided to give up the ghost. And looks like that battle between Yorkie and Lucas is spreading out a little bit. But will continue nonetheless. Andrex is on the back of Cornwald. Wow. The Porsche has fallen off the back of Darwood. Oh no, that's Darwood was chasing Cornwald last time we looked. And now Darwood leads the GTEs by 5 seconds. And you can actually see there at the bottom of the shot is the Corvette. that now leads the class. That is Andrex staring at the back of Cornwall's Porsche. So there's been an incident between the Porsche and the Corvette. Whether it was just a mistake by one of them or an impact, we of course don't know. Does the Porsche come in? No. If it is damage, Cornwall's obviously looking to continue with it. Let's have a look at the Porsche. It looks in pretty good shape, so it's probably just made a mistake. And there you go, he's done it on that lap, losing 7 seconds. And now falling into the clutches of the Aston V8. Flecky is with Marauder. They're actually side by side, I think. Oh no, the M6 is just ahead, beg your pardon. There's Flecky looking to get... Look at that rather rearranged back end of the yellow Ford. That's not going to be helping him. Oh, Astrid, that was you. Now I know who WhatsApp actually is referred to as in the forums. It was a shame that we lost you, sir. But welcome to the stream. Oh, that was actually Flecky topping out in the yellow Ford there. As that's the top. That's Lucas and Yorkie that's just come through. Oh, wow, Endless and Berserker, the 32-31. Yorkie and Lucas in the 29s. They've still got 26 seconds to try and close down to shut the leader down, but long way to go. Oh, that's close. So it looks like the only close track battle we've got at the moment seems to be this one between Andrex and Cornwall. So everybody else, they're getting into their rhythm. And this is where it gets very, very tempting just to push that little bit too hard. You're close to someone, your racing instinct kicks in. But of course, you've got a long way to go, and flying Audis coming past you. Andrex lost a good 8 tenths there, as you can see on the Delta. But the top 3 in the GTE fields all setting a time within 3 tenths of one another. Cornwall's going to have to defend though from Andrex. Got a good run through the Retifidio, right under the rear wing. It's going to hurt a little bit through the Curva Grande, but not too much. You can rely purely on mechanical grip. And look at that, bit of slipstream. He's going to go on the outside of Curva Grande. Can the Aston outbrake the Porsche? That's very close coming into the Del Rogia. Now, whether Andrex just pulled that back a bit to avoid an impact, or whether the Porsche was the last of the late breakers, we don't know. First airs, mate. Nearly runs off the track, but keeps that one on track. A little bit wide on the exit of the second airs, though. And that gives the momentum back to Cornwall. That battle will essentially reset. That's coming past one of the Audis. Of course, there's quite a few Audis in this race, so it's difficult to identify which one is flying past the GTEs. Yellow Ford coming to the bottom of the shot. That was Flecky on Sky. Lucas and Yorkie there. Now that marker keeps popping up next to Lucas's name. He's still hanging on in there. Yorkie's tank. Yorkie is carrying at 26.7 litres. That's a fair point, actually, there, Nick. We'll have a look at fuel amounts. As you can see, everyone's marker has pretty much gone. Let's have a look at fuel amounts in. Let's see who's going to be coming in soon. Endless is down to 15 litres in the Audi. 8.2 seconds ahead of this man Berserker, 14.4. 26 litres for Yorkie, as we've already identified. Oh, that's Lucas. Right behind him was 16. So it does look like Yorkie's a little heavier on fuel than the rest. One tyre. 25 for him. So the Toyotas are heavier than the Audis, interestingly. Lama. 16 again for the Audi. The Audi's a bit thirstier, perhaps, than the Toyota. That would make life interesting. Kazanchik, 25 litres in the Porsche. Spudbuster, 25 litres again, Porsche. So it does look like the Audis are very light, very much lighter on fuel. My good 10 litres as well. It'd be interesting to know whether they all started. I didn't actually think to look, and what their starting fuel was. Because the Audi might be quicker, but if it's thirstier, that is going to really mix up the grid towards the tail end of it. LMP2s, 21 litres for Zenny. Same for Conor McCoy, nearest damage. So a little bit lighter with 18. Not a drastic amount. He's lost the back of Conor McCoy, now 6.5 seconds down from second place in class. There's Ulti. 22.5 for you. Oh, Nunu, after his exceedingly long pit stop, finds himself right the way down there in amongst the LMP2s. He's only got 40 litres on board, so he didn't take on much on his very, very long pit stop. Quick win, 21, so very similar to the rest. 19, Raging Beard. He's only 3 seconds off the back of Quickwin, so he could be challenging for 5th position pretty soon. That's Joey. 20 litres on board, so the LMP2s are pretty even. Anywhere between 19 and 22, so not a great deal of difference in the LMP2s with the GTEs. Garwood now leading the way in GTEs after his battle with Cornwall's changed. Actually, Cornwall's lost that second position that Andrex I can see. 43 litres for the Corvette, 45 for the Aston. Oh, that's why Cornwall is struggling now. So we might see the Porsche in soon. 48 for Cornwall, so again, fairly similar numbers. Ah, the Audi has a smaller tank. Thank you for that one, puppy. That's going to be definitely interesting. 44 litres for Odom. Smolder, 41. Or 41.9 in the Corvette. Marauder in the M6, 45.9. So again, not a lot of difference in the GTEs. Wow, that's a big group of cars. TBW, Porsche, 48.3, so he's got a little bit more. Whoa! I thought that was going to someone fly off the road there. Flecky on Sky, 43, so he's got a little bit less. F1 Racer, now he's been in the pits recently, so he's got 80 litres on board. Carbon Cutter we know has been through the pits, he's got 50 litres still on board in the black Ford, and 64.3 for Lindholt, who also has been through the pits. That third has swapped hands again. Yorkie and Lucas are still having that fight. Yorkie did manage to stretch his legs a little bit in that third spot, but once again, the Audi has bested the Toyota, but there's only about 10 litres left on the Audi. Can you get some onboard views? Of course you can. On board with Yorkie then in 4th place as he chases Lucas. Wow, that's the effect of the curves. As Lucas shot forward there. I mean, it is like a nuclear bomb going off in the back of these cars. It is absolutely vicious, but also the drivers can tailor how quickly the energy is deployed. So whilst I'm used to what it's like in default trim, and it is pretty brutal in default trim, it could be that some people prefer to have it deployed quicker for less period of time. Some people may prefer a more gradual, longer deployment. So we will see how that pans out. Now Lucas getting himself 1.5 seconds, but knowing how quickly the KERS actually propels these cars towards the top end of their speed. That could change at a moment's notice, and that also what affects that best lap delta, particularly for the LMP1s. Well, only really the LMP1s, they're the only ones that have KERS out there. You know, if a driver chooses to save their KERS energy on one particular lap, they're of course going to be slower. One given lap, whereas if they choose to burn the battery down, they will gain quite a considerable amount of time. Yorkie now has one of the TX3 LMP2s in his way. Is any? Oh, whoever it was taking the rather alternate line. Who was it? It was Alti, who actually jumped on the inside of Ascari there to get out of the way of the leaders. You don't have to. Yeah, flash the lights, you are allowed to do that as an indicator to the one behind. Get on with it, get past me. as that will be, I'm assuming that's one tyre that's just come past. Yes, it is. Next Toyota in line. No one in the pits yet, but only 7.5 litres left on the Audis. They'll be in soon. York is the lead non-Audi. Still has 18 litres on board, so he won't go too much further than the Audis. But I could really play into their hands. It all depends on how well they time their fuel, because if the Audis are running a bit dry towards the end, they may think about doing a splash and dash, which is really not what they want to do. These guys practice and practice and practice. And yeah, I've just realised we have lost another of our field. We've lost one of our MP2s. I don't unfortunately know who it is. Yeah, good spot there, Smoking Puppy. And I just realised we are down to 26 now. The race feed box doesn't work, so let's just do that. Wegwin is getting on the back of Raging Beard. That's what it sounds like from the inside of the Honda powered Ligier. Oh dear. Is he a bit greedy on the gas there, coming out of the Del Rogia. Also, TPW is on the back of Marauder. So his Porsche and the M6 are going to go. Wow, that was brave! Oh, crikey. That was Warnshire, I think, coming through. Oh, was that Larkso that's just flown past? Yep, that was Larkso in the blue LMP2. Oh, and look at that. The Porsche of TPW almost side by side with the M6 of Marauder. Coming through the Parabolica. Now thinking about going on the outside of the M6. There's a yellow Ford and one of the other TX3 LMP2s behind them. Nicely done. Oh, that was so close to impact, but well driven. It's so hard to pass through the Rettifilios. Almost no point trying because it's so narrow. TPW keeping the pressure on Marauder. Is that Alti that's coming past them? Yep. Oh, TPW again having to think about it on the inside, coming towards Del Rosia. Not to take the move. Actually, Flecky and Sky's not far behind. He's only got 1.5 seconds back in the yellow Ford. That's the view from the Ford. I make no apologies for saying I do not like the sound of the Ford. Actually, it looked like Flecky was using a control pad there, which he could well be. There's nothing saying that you must use the steering wheel. Oh, that was. I winced there. I just thought TPW was streamlining to ram into the back of the M6. Wow, look at that Marauder really carrying a decent amount of pace through Ascari. So he's running a bit more wing than the Porsche is. TPW able to reel him back in on the straights. And Larkso is in from third with only 3 litres left in the tank. That's a scheduled stop then for the blue Ligier of Larkso. And I would imagine the Audis are not going to be far behind. There's only 3.5 litres left in Endless. He's running side by side. That's a Porsche, is that? It's not Spud. There's Brezanchik. So actually, Endless has lapped everybody up to 7th. Is he going to come in? He's not. He is pressing on. He's confident. He's going to do another. He's going to do another lap in that car. Fair enough. Oh, Berserker's brought his car in though. Only 2 litres left in the tank. Yeah, you had no choice. Going back to this battle then between. I say battle. With Yorkie and Lucas. Well, Larkso, I'm just realising Larkso was in the pits quite a long time. Is that Berserker coming out ahead of him? That was a Berserker's not taken fuel! Berserker has not taken fuel! He's going to have to drive that very, very carefully to get back on 2 litres. I think we might be losing one of our Audis here. Zenny's not got much either. It might be needing a push. Yorkie on the back of Lucas. Lucas has only got 3 litres himself. Berserker has got to be driving that real gentle. He's down to 1.5 already. Keeping all eyes on you, my friend. Ulti's in. 5.5 litres left, or 5.2 litres rather, in the LMP2 as he brings that DGA in. Right, Berserker. Getting a slipstream wherever you can find it. I'm not surprised. Oh, it's going to be 1 litre well before he gets to Ascari. Endless is in. Oh, you cut that fine. You obviously can do it in around about 2 litres. He had 3, I think, when he went past the line. Raging Beard has made it. Oh, where's Berserker? 0.8. He's come through Ascari. Should just be able to do it. There's lots of scheduled stops are happening. Look at you can see how little throttle he's putting on. He's barely over half throttle. It looks like he's going to make it. As that's one of the Audis coming past him is Lucas. Ooh! Careful, boys! Lucas went right round Berserker and then jumped in front of him. The Berserker did indeed make it back to the pits with a face full of Lucas. Oh, don't queue for the same pit box. No, they don't. I know it's not like Formula 1 where they have to share one. Oh, Berserker, you lucky boy! I'm gonna. Yeah, he takes fuel on this time. His pit crew didn't forget. Yorkie now leads the race in the Toyota. He's got another 10 litres to go before he has to bring that one in. Endless is back on track. He's only a couple of seconds behind Yorkie. That's interesting. It wasn't a very long stop then. That's Wartire right behind him. Wartire has not been in. He's only got 10 litres on board. As we've got Nunu in again. So his race is getting no better. Zenny is actually just on the way out. And Colonel McCoy's brought his LMP2 in. Oh, was that someone in trouble? Yep, that's someone in trouble. Who was that? Sorry, I'm going to flick through the order to find out who that was that's just had a big moment. No, it wasn't Mark, so. I can't identify who that was facing the wrong way at the exit of the second Lesmo. Oh, that's an interesting battle. That's TPW in the Porsche, Marauder in the Beamer, and Flecky and Sky in the Ford. Let's see if that holds anything. Oh, Cornwald is on the back of on my screen, Zodan, as mentioned before. That is actually Hunter. Wartire's brought his car in. He's still had 8 litres to go, but he's decided to not push his luck. Endless is in again. Oh dear. Why has Endless come in again? He had 48 litres on board. Now his stop was pretty short, but he has brought the car in again for whatever reason. That's pretty much given a lap to Yorkie at this stage. Nunu is still in, so that's an exceedingly long pit stop again for the Audi. Cornwald's been there a while in the Porsche. Oh, a few people have come in. Who's that in? That's Llama in the next Audi. Endless and Wartire in the Porsche. Gets Toyota rather. Gets underway. What has happened to Endless, I wonder? He's underway again. He didn't take on any fuel. Oh, Endless got damage. Ah, I see. Thank you for that update there, Dustin. Also possible, Puppy. May not change tyres. I don't know how well the tyres last in these endurance events. Oh, Berserker has just lost that second to Lucas. Audi side-by-side coming through the Lesmos. Lucas has ducked into the lead. Lucas has gone 47 litres. Oh, there you go. That's how well the KERS works. As a Berserker flies past his Audi brethren. That's what it looks like from Lucas's perspective. Unfortunately, with the interface there, we can't see what the KERS amount is because the KERS amount on the right doesn't work. So we'll see. But the dead giveaway is they just take off like a bullet. So that's when you know they've just pressed that Almighty quick, like so. Thank you for displaying that right on cue there, Lucas. And he's going to jump up, back up into second. Berserker's got no answer for that, but again, they won't really defend too hard in an endurance event. Especially if they're kind of overtaking each other on curves. It's at some point in the lap, and there he goes. Berserker will just gun it straight past. That's very close. They've both come past the Corvette into the Del Roggi once again. And there he goes. That's exactly what I was talking about. Because Lucas has already burnt the battery out, or has already used a fair significant amount of his curves. Berserker just picked his moment and gunned it past. Interesting time to use it, but it's a fairly slow chicane at Del Roggi, but there's not a lot of time between that and Lesmo, so you know you've got to get it done before you're back on the brakes again. Interesting choice there. All part of the strategy though. Lucas was very slow coming through Ascari. So that's going to cost him a bit of time off the back of Berserker, but nothing too bad though. As we are approaching about 10 minutes off the back of the halfway stage, 2 cars gone. Unfortunately, I think both of them out of the LMP2 field. Nunu is back out on track, but a long way down from the LMP. So we're going to do some rough. He's several minutes down. He's a good nearly 4 minutes down from Spudbuster, who's 8th in class. So that's a good 3 laps at least. 1.5 minute lap for the LMP ones. So it's not going well for Nunu, unfortunately. Been in the pits quite a few times. Maggie Sky is on the back of Marauder, apparently. Oh, isn't he just? The yellow battered Ford on the back of the M6. That's what makes me think Flecky's either using a control pad or a keyboard. This is the way that he's going. That very digital style of input there. No particular. Too close to trying to make a move. Yorkie has not got a lot of fuel left in the tank, so surely he's going to... Look at that, the entire field is blue. No one is yet on the same lap. He's 43 seconds ahead of Berserker. So that is quite an impressive time gap. Of course, helped rather much by Berserker having to come into the pits again. So surely Yorkie is going to have to bring that one in. Oh, quite good. It's getting onto the back of Raging Beard as well. And Endless is catching up to Warm Tyre. So people are catching other people like that. Where are you, Yorkie? There he is, coming through Ascari now. And Brzanczyk has brought his car in. 1.7 in the tank. It is a risk running the fuel that low because, as has already been rather proven, if you forget to put the fuel in when you come in, you don't have enough fuel to do another lap, that's your day done. And the amount of preparation these guys go through, and yep, predictably, with 1.5 litres still in the tank, race leader Yorkie has brought his car in. Spudbuster's brought his car in as well. Pretty much the same amount of him, 1.8 in the tank, yeah. 62 litres for Brzanczyk. Well, there's Fuel Man doing the job well. He's up to 5. I hope you put a bit more in than that. There we go. Berserker on the move. He's winding that lead back again. Good lap last time around, 29.5. So he's going to take the lead back. So Yorkie has yet to move. And Berserker is back in the lead. There he goes then. 128.5. Wow, what a lap from Berserker. Then Lucas has gone up to second in the next Audi down the road. And Yorkie is back underway. 62 litres on board now. So what are we looking at for pit lane loss? assuming little to no damage. We get a timing update from Yorkie. We'll know how far he is behind Lucas. Well, how far he is behind Berserker. Come on, you're not a minute behind. There we go. So it's about a minute, give or take. Was that Larkson who's coming around? No, that's the other one, which was Greg. Yes. Gregory's on the... It's getting on Raging Beard's case as well. Battle there for 5th position in the LP2s. Blakey and Sky is still on the back of that M6. So that's a battle for 6th in the GTEs. Ah, thank you for that couple of minutes. Oh, one tyre! A penalty. That's impressive. A 32-second penalty for worn tyre. Even in an endurance race, that could hurt. Technically, that drops you to 7th, but normally those kind of penalties do get appealed. By and large, they are a little bit excessive. We're certainly not speeding in the pit lane, which is normally where the... oh no, that's the 10-second ones that come from speeding in the pit lane, I think. Oh, Bo got damage. Oh dear. Well, Yorkie got damage on the outlap, so that's held him up a little. That's not going to help. Well, as we are getting towards the halfway stage, 33 laps done. Here at the Temple of Speed. Let's have a look at who is where. Berserker leads the way in the Audi. After a little bit of a hard-stopping moment there, of not taking on fuel in his first pit stop, so having to do another lap barely. But was able to limp back home and get back on the case. Lucas is in second. 6.5 down from Berserker. Yorkie coming into the pits. Now freshly fueled up and raring to go. He flies past the Porsche into Ascari. Is in third. Worn tyre with that penalty, we assume he's going to get that appealed. So in fourth at the moment for worn tyre. T3 Endless was leading the race for a while, but finds himself in 5th place now. Also in the Audi, Lama. Haven't seen a great deal of this driver. In 6th place. Has been through, I think most people have been through the pits at least once. Well, the GTEs won't have just yet. They do have colossal fuel tanks in those cars, but the LMPs have all been through. There is Brzancic in the Porsche in 7th. With Spudbuster in the 2nd Porsche coming across the line in 8th. And Nunu down there in 9th, but a long way behind first track position is concerned, but still going on, so fair play to you. You haven't thrown in the towel, you have pressed on, and all credit to you for that. The LMP2s, Zenny is leading the way at present, just crossing the line. Gunnar McCoy is 12.6 down from the lead, or from the class lead. Ulti in 3rd place, 20 seconds down from Gunnar McCoy, is 7 seconds clear of Larkso. So Larkso has lost that 3rd place in the pit stop phase, but the pace that he was showing, nothing to say he can't regain that spot. There is Raging Beard, just working his way through the GT field again. 4 and a bit down from Nunu, who's actually an LMP1. 4 seconds there. Oh, Dawu has now got his name on the penalty board with a 1 second penalty. That's a track limits penalty that he didn't yield quick enough. Quick win in 6th place. Tail end of the GT field. Only 6 LMP2s remain. Quick win. Only 3.5 seconds off the back of Raging Beard, but is at the tail end of the class. Leading the GTEs is Daru now in the Corvette, but we'll start seeing the GTEs coming in soon. The Corvette only with 8.5 just into the tank. Andrex in the Aston, 6.5 in his car, only 2.5 seconds off the back of Dawu. So whilst we've been looking away, the GTEs have completely shaken up, because Andrex was actually about 6 seconds off of third, which at the time was Cornwald, who is now in 7th. So we'll see if he's already been in. Dawu doesn't bring the Corvette in just yet. Andrex is following suit. Odan, or the Hunter, 6 litres in the tank for the... Oh, we've lost another. It's another of the LMP2s we've just lost. Who did we lose? I've just been through them. Damn my memory. Smolder has brought his car in. The Corvette comes in, 5.3 litres in the tank. In he comes in the Corvette from 4th. Thickness Bickerwickle in the Porsche. Oh, that's a black Ford missing a headlight. That's not helpful. It's fairly well lit there in Monza. Now, Marauder was right with TBW last time we looked at him in the Soul M6. 2.7 litres for him. I suspect he'll be... Oh, I didn't look at TBW. 11 litres to the Porsches. Surely Marauder's going to bring the M6 in this time. There is Cornwald. Ah, he has been through the pits. That's why he's down in 7th. So I totally missed that. So he has one very heavy Porsche at the moment. Flecky and Sky in the yellow Ford. Pressing on. 3.8 behind Cornwald. Oh, he had a very bad lap last time around. There's F1 Racer. He had a pretty early pit stop, thanks to over 40 litres. Oh, yeah, you can see the damage he had to deal with on the front of the Porsche. There is Carbon Cutter. He had a very early pit stop as well. Only 14 litres left for him, so he'll be in soon in the black Ford. And Lindholt with 27 litres left in his black Ford. And indeed, Marauder did bring the M6 in. He didn't really have a choice. He was really running that car down. Enders has gone up to 4th. So Worn Tyre either didn't fight him or could not hold the charging TX3 driver behind him. Enders has 31 seconds to gain to the leader. 5.5 to gain to Yorkie. And is really pressing on. Cornwald is right with Smolder. Wow, that's close. The heavy Porsche is really pressing on the back of Smolder. Smolder's been through the pits as well. That's an exceedingly heavy Corvette with nearly 90 litres on board. On board with the Porsche, you can see he's actually gaining. The Porsche a little bit lighter, about 10 litres or so. Oh, the Corvette going a little deep, but the Porsche going very wide through the middle of Ascari. That compromised him a bit. He had to back out of that. He was never going to make that turn from that angle. To see the time that's cost him on the Corvette. As we have, damn it, hit the halfway stage of this race. Oh, the Corvette taking a bit of a wider line through Parabolica, and Cornwall turning left into a right-hander. Lots of start points there for the Porsche. Surely then this is going to be a move before they get into the rest video. And there he goes. Is Smolder going to fight him on it? Doesn't look like it. No, the Corvette does indeed back out of that. You know as a driver who you're realistically fighting against. But as we mentioned before, not always a lot of point fighting hard to defend your position in an endurance race when you're barely at the 50% distance. Daru's in. Now the GTEs are going to bring their cars in. The lead pair of GTEs, Daru and Andrex, bring their cars in. Oh, 0.3 of a litre for Andrex. Wow, you best hope that your refueling man doesn't completely forget. Otherwise, your day is done. Nope, your fueling man didn't forget, and that's Hunter in. 0.2 of a litre for the Aston. Good grief! Wow, that's risky. That's very, very risky. Does your fuel man remember to put fuel in it? Yes, he does. Wow, that was quick. No damage then on the Corvette for Daru. And Andrex not too far behind, taking on slightly more fuel. Oh no, hang on, wrong one. Not by a lot. 89 litres, 95 litres, not a great deal of difference. So Daru and Andrex coming out. Dawu actually was a little quicker getting back underway. Corbett then getting back up to speed. And TBW is right in there, but he's got to come in. There's Andrex coming out. And the Hunter then has done his stop. And he's just lost that full position to Cornwald. Cornwald's been through the pit already, so that's a legitimate overtake. Gwegwin bringing his LMP2 in along with Flecky and Sky in the yellow Ford. Gwegwin had 50 litres, so that's either tyres or damage, and the car looks okay. So that's going to be a tyre stop, I would think, for Gwegwin. The phased out pit crew never really do anything for us. Oh, Larkso, it was you we lost. No, you do so well. What a great shame. I realised we'd lost one of our LMP2s, but then people started pitting, so I didn't have a chance to have a look to see who it is we'd lost. What a shame, Larkso. A huge, huge shame. What happened? That's a long old stop for Flecky. Gwegwin underway now. Endless is getting on the back of Yorkie. Endless has been absolutely flying. He's still got some way to get towards Berserker, but he's in the 20. He's getting the 28 lap times in. So Endless really wants to get back towards the sharp end. Well, don't they all, but he's really pressing on to do so in the Audi. Oh, something's gone wrong there for Endless. He's got all out of shape. Coming through Ascari. TBW's in. Pull that Porsche in. That's going to give second back to Andrex. Yeah, Andrex was definitely the slower one. Oh, a screen freeze in the middle of a corner. No, what a great shame for you, Larkso. TBW in, brings his car in. And again, fuel men doing what their thing, doing their thing, if I can get my words out properly. Smolder is on the back of Cornwall. That's a battle for third. Corvette's been through. We know the Porsche has been through earlier. That's one of the black Fords who's actually a lap down. Who will be backing out of that, you would hope. Ooh, that's a little awkward. Smolder didn't go for the overtake. Oh, that's possibly why. There's a wild Porsche flying through. There goes the LMP1 and the Toyota. That's Endless on the back of Yorkie. That's the battle for third. Wow. Now that's not Lucas ahead of Yorkie. That, I suspect, is Brzancic. Yes, it is. So Brzancic will be backing out of that. There goes Yorkie. And Endless in very, very hot pursuit. Wow. Endless is a man on a mission. TBW's finished his pit stop. He's out in 7th. Oh, he's actually battling F1 Racer. Oh, the two Porsches side by side coming up to Delarogia. Oh, that's close. Oh, too close. And F1 Racer literally bounces off the back of TBW, who in turn then collects one of the lead Audis. It wasn't Berserker. Not entirely sure which of the Audis that was. Oh, that's Yorkie and Endless. Yorkie's lost. Oh no! Yorkie couldn't. Sorry, Endless couldn't slow that down. Oh, there's damage on that car. So Endless trying to press too hard to get through and get towards the tail end of the field. Has overcooked that into the Refilio. And of course has lost that position back to Yorkie. Yorkie having quite a bad run. Last lap. Running on board with Endless. That's the tail fin he's been chasing for a while. So growling, low revving Audi engine proceeds to chase after Yorkie. A little bit deep into Ascari. You can get away with it to a point, but that's not the quickest way of doing it. He's going to have to close down Yorkie again. only about 7/10, if that, between the pair of them. Oh, that callback could help. Nope, just as Yorkie detonated his Kers there. And then very closely followed by Endless. Oh, is this a chance? He's gaining. Is he going to throw on the inside of the Toyota again at the rest video? Can he slow it down? Gets very twitchy under braking, but does manage to do it. Endless gets up into third place. As Carbon Cutter comes in again. He took his first stop very early on. I actually thought the way that the lens flare was, I thought there was smoke coming off the back of his engine then. TBW and F1 Racer still having their battle. That's for 6th. F1 Racer now ahead of TBW, but he's got a very much lighter Porsche and very much rearranged Porsche as well. And that accident happened quite some time ago for F1 Racer. That had nothing to do with him bouncing off the back of his fellow Porsche. Lindholt is in, the Ford. Assuming you're taking on more fuel than that. There's 30 litres. There we go. He's not going to get to the end of the race. As Carbon Cutter gets on his way. TBW, as we saw, is chasing after his fellow Porsche. TBW just has to just bide his time really. Whether he realises he's in a much lighter car, much heavier car rather, remains to be seen. Oh, that was Lindholt. Sorry, Carbon Cutter coming out of the pits there. That Porsche has had a hell of a battery. Oh, a bit of a twitch there coming out of the rest video from F1 Racer there. Into the Cava Grande. TBW holding a bit of a tighter line there. It's not going to make an awful lot of difference. Oh, is he going to think about it on the inside of Delorgia? No, it's not particularly wise. It's very, very narrow through there. You want to get the exit better than the entry. You want to get the entry right, but if you're battling someone, it's the exit that matters more. There's my one. Tiny bit of correction there from TBW, but again, nothing too bad. He's back to Lesmo 2. And I think that the weight difference is just acting against TBW to try and get him in a position to overtake. That is... well, it can't be Larkso, unfortunately, as we have lost him. So therefore, that is Gwegwin. Yep, that's Gwegwin in the blue. LMP2, only 5 LMP2s. The only retirements we have been from that category. Wow, that's a lot of cars Gwegwin's got to work his way through. He manages to do it. With one of the Audis. Oops, that's falling off the top of Parabolica. I could give TBW a bit of a run on him. No, not particularly. He's not able to... oh, that could have been nasty. I think, is that Yorkie as it flew past? Yes, it was. Ah, one tyre is in. Ah, that's interesting. He's got 30 litres on board. Why is one tyre coming? Maybe for his namesake. Or new tyres on the car. Pit crew give us no indication. New again. I think he's coming in for an ice cream. Well, he's only got past all the LMP2s now. Although, coming in again, he's going to lose a few positions to them. A great shame. It's gone very, very badly wrong for Nunu, as previously mentioned. TBW still in that battle with fellow Porsche F1 Racer, but he just has to hang on to the back of it. The fuel should carry him to the end. DTEs only really have to come in once. Wow, 29.2 from Lucas there, last time around. He's still pressing on. Where is Endless, actually? We saw him blast past Yorkie, and there we go. He's opened up 4.5 seconds between himself and Yorkie. 5 seconds now. Taking braking zones into consideration. Endless is absolutely flying. Berserker at 29.2, so Berserker's not letting up either. 30.7 for Lucas last time. 31 seconds has Endless got to gain to get to the leader. 28.0, very nearly getting into the 27s now. Endless is a man on a mission. Now you can see on the map, as Endless comes through Retifilia, Berserker was on the exit of the second Lesmo. Wow, Nunu yet again another catastrophically long stop. So everything can go wrong seems to have gone wrong. Tyre's back out there again, so he wasn't in the pits for very long. Gwegwin's catching now. Gwegwin's just come past Nunu, that's all. That's all that marker was. Yeah, I'm keeping a very close eye on Endless, although Endless will have to be in soon. So 17 litres. Let's have a look at the fuel amount again. Looks like the Audi's going to have to come in pretty soon. 14 litres for Berserker. He's been pressing on like a madman. Lucas hasn't been doing too badly, although he's got a face full of what I believe is Spudbuster. Yep, it is indeed. 31.4 for Berserker, so he lost a bit of time there. 30.6 for Lucas, he's got 14. Yeah, the Audis have got a similar amount of fuel as you would expect. They all pitches around about the same time. So what Endless managed to do is had fairly clean air for most of his lap as he's catching up to Andrex or Hunter. 27.4. Oh wow, that was that good. I managed to choke. Wow, wait. Ooh, Endless was not happy about that. And the reason why he wasn't, that's Bazanchik. That's why he wasn't happy about it. Oh, no, it's not Bazanchik, beg your pardon. Not sure who that was that Endless caught up to there. Whoever it was, he was not happy with him. It's one of the Audis. Oh, it's Nunu, of course. Nunu having come out of the pits. So Nunu was under blue flag conditions. And just may have a word about that. 27.4. What a complete stunner. And he had clear track for most of that. Just over 45 minutes remaining of this 2-hour race here at Monza. Berserker currently leading the way by 10 seconds. 28.5 for Berserker last time, 31.2 for Lucas, so he's kind of falling off the back a bit. Endless was, of course, caught up in that traffic, so he would have lost some time here. Oh, who was that coming in? It was Ulti, third in class. 29.2 for Endless, I wasn't surprised. So Ulti brings his car in. He's at 18 litres on board, so unless this is a tyre change, he had fuel in the tank, but that'll be the last time unless he damages his car that we will see Ulti in the pits. There's Lucas. I thought he'd taken a chunk out of the lead then, but not necessarily. But then if you look back from Berserker, he's just come through some of the GTEs, and that's Colonel McCoy who's just come past in that orange. Wow, that's riding the curb somewhat over a scurry. That's really pushing to try and get through the field. Can't see who that is. Possibly Nunu or Bazanchik that Berserker is catching up with. Absolutely no let-up whatsoever from Berserker. He may have a pretty comfortable lead, but 28.5 last time. What does he do this time? 31.6. Again, he caught out in the traffic. Where's Lucas? Here he is. It's not gone much better for him, I don't think. 29.9. It's not bad. Endless then just coming into Parabolica. With a face for the Corvette. Oh, that's going to send. Oh, well held. He just opened up the steering a bit to bounce around the Corvette, but managed to keep it within the confines of the Parabolica. 29.1. Again, another 8/10 off of Lucas. Still another 16.5 seconds. There's the Soul M6 of Marauder, who's 8th in the GT class at the moment. War wounds there, clear for all to see on Endless's car. Well, the penalties haven't changed. Wartime and Darby have behaved themselves since they got the penalties on the board. As the fatigue starts to kick in now, 2 hours in endurance terms is not particularly long. 2.4 hours as we will run later in the season is not particularly long either, but it is it's a longer race than is normally run here at AORs Online Racing, so it is an endurance event. still a damn long time to be concentrating for. I certainly couldn't do it. That's why I sit here in the commentary box. It's one of the Porsches. Split the spud. It definitely is. There's Berserker. 30.6 for race leader as SF1 Racer bringing his Porsche in. That damage has already been seen to, so unless he's added to it, we won't have to have everything new done to that. As is given away by the fact that these headlights are working. But you've still got those cracks to deal with, which are... See, that's just irritating to me. I find those just annoying. Endless with the 29.0, so yet again shipping further and further away in the gap between himself and the two ahead. He gained... So what did he gain? 1.5 on Berserker. And 2.5 on Lucas, so... He is absolutely determined. But of course the top 3 Audis will have to come in fairly soon, within the next 3 laps or so. Yorkie's running 28 litres, that won't see him to the end. Yeah, Toyota is going to have to probably settle for 4th. It does look like the LMPs are being... Ooh, that's wide, Berserker. Carves his way past. Carves his way past. I've forgotten who that is. Gwegwin. 30.1. And that is F1 Racer that's come out. So a fairly decent stop then for the Porsche. Assuming he's got a full tank of fuel. Yep, 95 litres on board for you. And past what I think is Alti. Double check. No, it wasn't Alti, beg your pardon. It must therefore have been possibly Zenny, and Endless is in. Now that's interesting. He's decided to bring his car in from 3rd place. Now we'll drop him behind Yorkie, but no further than that. I don't think it'll drop him further than that. So we will see where that puts the mighty Endless. This is a very weird sentence to ever say. That was pretty sure. 50 litres on board again. Is that going to be enough, though? I think that's going to be quite tight, I reckon. But out he comes. As predicted, he's behind Yorkie. Where's Yorkie? Yorkie's actually just gone through the Darrogia. He won't have to worry particularly about fuel. I wonder whether Enders is going to have to save fuel towards the end, or come in for a very quick smash and dash. I'm not sure that it's going to be a comfortable amount of fuel in that car. With 50 litres to go now, 40 minutes still to go, well, about 30 laps-ish. On average, around about 2.5 litres a lap, I think. That's going to be a little tight. Sure there's going to be enough fuel in that car by the end, but we will see. It wouldn't be the first time I've been proved wrong. I've been proved wrong many, many times. That's Marauders, M6. There's a bit of a rock and a hard place there for what I think is Spudbuster. He's going to bleed out of the throttle there. Is that Spudbuster as I thought? No, Brezanchik? Yeah. It was 7th-place Brezanchik in the Porsche. It's just bled out of the throttle before the braking zone there of Ascari, allowing Berserker through. I beg the pardon, it was Endless that went through. That's Berserker. Heading on down towards Ascari himself. Of course, that pit stop puts Endless about a minute behind the leader. But, I would think Berserker is going to come in this time. Let's have a look then. Does he bring that Audi in? Is he going to chance another one? Well, well, Berserker is chancing another lap. 29.1 again, a pretty decent lap. Oh, steady, yellow Ford. Start tapping the back of the leader, and that's Raging Beard in. The yellow Ligier. Oh, that was close on the tank, 1.9 litres. And that'll be his second and final stop. I assume it's second anyway. I can't say I've been keeping count. And in he comes then. New tyres if he feels like it. Where are you, Berserker? That's Lesmo 2. Wow, that's committed to get past everybody. That he does without incident. He's got to bring that in this time. Only 2 litres in the tank. Lucas can't be too far. Whoops! That's someone running wide of the exit in the second Lesmo. So Lucas will be in as well. That's a very long way around TPW. Here comes Berserker. And Scurry around Parabolica rather. A little slow. He just scrubbed off a bit too much pace around there, but in he comes. Lucas will be doing the same, as he's really going to run that engine dry. There's Lucas. You're going to have to fuel save, or you are cutting that exceedingly fine. Wow, that's brave, Lucas. We will see if we find him parked up on the edge of the road somewhere. And there goes Berserker. Now I'm far more confident that he'll make the end of the race, more so than Endless. No, that's close to the Aston. Through Darogia. Into the Lesmos. You should have brought your car in, but you're looking at the amount, you'll probably make it. Round the Ford. Other people close together on track, but as you can see on the display on the left, no one's actually changing for position at the moment. Although saying that, Berserker, who as we know has just been through the pits, was on the back of Yorkie for a minute there. Actually, he's only a second behind Yorkie. There's Yorkie in the Toyota further up the road. Oh, Lucas, that's not how you do a scurry. Just like look away, typical. There's then a moment on track. Well, Lucas has definitely made it back to the pits, so he'll be bringing a very light, very thirsty car back to get the fuel load sorted out. Berserker! Again, people struggling at the scurry now. But managed to keep it out of the wall, and Zenny is in as well. Zenny and Lucas coming in. That's Zenny in the LMP2. There is Lucas in the Audi. Yorkie will resume the lead of the race unless he decides to bring his car in now, which he does not. So Yorkie now takes the lead over in the Toyota. There's Lucas. And Colonel McCoy brings his car in as well from second in class. 0.4 of a litre. Oh, you were cutting that a little tad fine, sir. Just 40 litres on board for Lucas. That should just about be enough. Well, my dude, if that's enough for you, then Endless is absolutely fine. In fairness. Endless now up to third. Steady. Zenny comes out. Retains the lead of the LMP2 class. There you can see Colonel McCoy just jumping out of his pit box. Trundles down the road. Ulti is quite some way behind Colonel McCoy. 18 seconds behind Nunu. Nunu's of course having a really bad time there in the MP1. Oh, battle with the lead again. It's Yorkie and Berserker. We saw Berserker getting a bit crossed up. Had a scurry last time around. And the Ford staying out of the way. That's Yorkie already ahead. Oh no, that's actually Yorkie 2 cars ahead. Again, that's Berserker getting very out of kilter. Now he's quite right to flash the Audi ahead of him. Although the Audi ahead seems to have just got the curves button on instead. You are allowed to power away from the car that is trying to lap you if you can get away from them without holding them up. Oops, a bit of tire smoke there from somebody. That'll be the Audi then that got themselves out of shape. They're probably going to relinquish the track position. That they do. So, again, it's either Andrex or Hunter. It's Andrex that's just had the LMP1 screen past. Well, it looks like from the Aston's perspective. Away they go. Oh, beautiful sound of that V8. And in all that, Berserker lost about 1.5 seconds off the back of Yorkie. You saw Yorkie go out of the shot there. There, you just see him just jumping around one of the Corvettes. That cost Berserker a hell of a lot of time. That's Yorkie there. And Lama's come in. Half a litre left in that Audi from 6th position. How long will Yorkie go on for? He's got 16 litres left. Assuming that 40 is about good, that seems to be what those that have pitted are about left with. It is going to be a relatively short pit stop for Yorkie. Ain't going to make 15 litres last this long. Not unless he has the most amazing fuel-saving mode in the world. Berserker now through the traffic. He'd lost a good, what, 8/10 on Yorkie that time around. Through D'Arologio once more. 56 racing laps done by our leaders. On board with Berserker. There is the Toyota he's chasing. With one of the GTEs. Dutifully staying out of the way. It's one of the Porsches. TBW. As we know that F1 Racer has an exceedingly rearranged Porsche, you know, therefore that's TBW, unless he's decided to have an argument with the wall. Berserker, of course, does not have to come into the pits again. Yorkie almost certainly does. Whether Berserker's aware of that, we don't know, of course. Oh, again, he's just getting a little bit out of shape. Coming through Parabolica, but there's enough downforce, even in its skinny condition, configuration rather, condition, wrong one, wrong word. Even in its skinny configuration, there's enough downforce for Berserker to catch out 1.1 seconds to the good on Yorkie that time around for Berserker. So surely then, without having to worry about fuel, or we're assuming he doesn't have to worry about fuel, that he should be pounding for the lead very soon. 13 litres left in that Toyota. It'll be interesting to see at what point Yorkie brings that car in. Oh, Brzanczyk's got his name on the penalty board now. There's Brzanczyk. A 1 second penalty for you, and one tire's added another second to his penalty as well. 1.5 separates the top two in the LMPs. Oh, Berserker! Out of shape on the exit of Lesmo 2. That's going to cost you a good second-ish. Certainly well over half a second, I'd have thought. Through Ascari. It's so easy to do. They've been going for an hour and a half now. Well, technically 2 hours, because there was also 20-minute qualifying on the beginning. We have less than 30 minutes to go. Why did Endless lose about 10 seconds? No obvious damage to the car, so unless he just... Well, yeah, 137.8, so he had a very bad lap last time around. Oh, Lucas, something's happened to you. Very, very slow through Ascari there. 4 seconds down, so you've had a bad time as well. Getting back towards less than 2 seconds between these two now. 11 litres left, so yeah, still kind of keeping 2 to 2.5 litres a lap. there or thereabouts. Within the next 5, we should be seeing that Toyota come in for a very short stop. Even still, it's likely to drop Yorkie outside of the podium positions. Berserker again, it seems, quite slow through the Lesmos. Is Berserker having a problem of some kind? Or has he just decided to back off and wait for Yorkie to pit, which you can't blame him for if he is doing that. That would be on the assumption that he realises that Yorkie's got to pit again. Or he's taken the gamble, he has to pit again. Of course, he would be completely right on that. Berserker has absolutely no reason to push whatsoever. Endless is 24 seconds behind. I still question whether he's got enough fuel on board. What's the difference between Berserker? See, Berserker's got 38 as he's coming past F1 Racer. Endless is 33. So what are we assuming here? We've got someone with better maths than me can help me with this one. So 27 minutes to go. 1.5 minutes a lap. So what are we looking at? Say 20 laps. At 2 litres a lap, that's not enough. Endless, I think, is in trouble. Endless is either going to have to fuel slave like a complete loony, and it's also possible that Berserker has to fuel save a bit towards the end. Or my maths is completely gaga, which is also very, very possible. Oh, hello. This guy's got a marker in his name. He's caught up to Marauder, that's why. In the M6. That's TP. Is that? No, that must be F1 Racer in the middle of them then. Nope. Don't know who that is in the middle of them then. Smolder? No, Smolder's a Corvette. Don't know who that is in the Porsche that's just gone past them. And completely overcooked it into Retafilio. Oh, that's close. There goes one of the TX3 LMP2s. Well, the top 3 don't show any sign of fuel saving yet, so we know that Yorkie's got to come in again. Although saying that, Berserker has backed off a bit. We know he's capable of the 29s and 28s, so has he backed off already and looking to fuel save slowly? F1 Racer in again. Oh dear. Ah, he's had another argument with something. That front right light is dead again. He's determined to rearrange that Porsche even further. Oh dear. Not a good race for you. Yellow Ford chasing that M6. That is for 7th in class. With what I assume is TPW Durant. No. Who is that other Porsche? No. No. Oh, it's Cornwald. I completely forgot what car Cornwald was in. Oh no! Was that Yorkie? Yorkie's just smacked into the back of Cornwald. Oh no! Look at the amount of time that's cost him. Berserker's right there. Well, he just closed into now 1.2. Oh, that's close. Yorkie just bounced off the back of the Ford. Off the back of the Porsche, rather. Oh dear. Trouble for Yorkie then. Yeah, you can see he lost 2 seconds, 2 full seconds that time. F1 Racer comes out of the pits, stone dead last. No obvious damage on that Toyota. Yet again, Berserker looming behind the Toyota. Oh, he's going to go for a move coming into the Del Roger. No, he opts not to. Surely Yorkie's going to bring that car in this time. Surely he must. There's my one. The black Ford's ahead. Through the second Nesmo. Oh, that could have gotten nasty. Just as Berserker had committed to that, Yorkie kind of jumped out They're still side by side, but Yorkie then slots behind Berserker. Berserker now takes over the lead of the race in the Audi. We will see if his fuel calculations hold. Flash of the lights there from Berserker, absolutely fine. Is Yorkie going to bring the Toyota in now? Or is he going to drain that thing dry? Yeah, thought he would. Thought he would bring that one in. So that's going to be a longer stop than he would have liked because of that bounce off the back of the Porsche. Ah, okay, thanks for that, Ping Too High. Nunu again. Another ice cream for Nunu. How long is Yorkie going to be sat there for? He won't need to take a full tank of fuel. That was pretty short. He's only taken 33 litres. Which should be enough though. Out in fourth, which is where I thought he would be. That's actually a very good question, Jess. I don't know off the top of my head what the point scoring is for this league. See how far behind the podium Yorkie is. 13 seconds behind Lucas. Zanchik is in. He brings the Porsche in. Only 3 litres left in the tank for you. So then, with 22 minutes remaining, Berserker 18 seconds ahead of Endless, who has been charging on and on and on and on. Has been whittling that lead down, lap on lap on lap, but still has some work to do. 31 litres for car number 8. Or for Berserker, there's probably more than one car number 8, I'm aware of that. Endless. 25 litres in the tank for you. A little bit squirrely, it's the red video. He leads Lucas by 14.5 seconds. Lucas is going to be in trouble, I think, because he's only got he's got less than 24 litres with 21 minutes of racing to go. Yeah, I'm not convinced by that. I think we're going to have to see Lucas in the pits again. Flecky on Sky brings the Ford in. So I think he was missing a rear wing. As he's plenty of fuel. That sounds like Nunu on the way. Nunu was in there a very long time again. Yorkie is closing in. Less than 10 seconds separates Yorkie on the podium now. There's the Toyota. Should be enough fuel on his car. It's the end of the end. The battered Porsche of F1 racer clunks over the apex of Lesmo 2. One tyre, haven't seen him for a while, is actually getting quite close to Yorkie following pit stops. Again, he's running the fuel pretty close to the wire. Just under 30 litres for Yorkie. 23 for Warm Tyre. Ooh, this is going to get very, very interesting as we head towards the checkered flag. Who is going to... I wonder whether several people are going to have to fuel save. God, 28-1 by Endless. He's not looking to fuel save at all right now. You saw him do a 28-0 earlier. As far as I know, he's the only man who got anywhere near that kind of lap time. So he presses on, 15.5 seconds behind Berserker. Who else haven't we seen for a while? We haven't seen Llama in a bit. He's got 34 litres on board. He's got plenty to see him home. He is in 6th. He is a lap behind Warm Tyre. Warm Tyre, I think, on track is directly behind him. Yes, he is. So the Toyota is... oh, that was indeed Llama. That went a bit wide. And Berserker's in! Berserker's had an accident! Oh no, Berserker's hit something. He's hit something very hard. Who's that coming in? That's Gwegwin coming in as well. So was it with... oh no, Gwegwin's only got a little bit of... oh my goodness me, look at the damage on that car! Well, Berserker won't need to worry about fuel now. Ouch. Oh, beg your pardon, Stevie, you're right. It was 27.4 we saw. Still had 28.0 in the end. Yeah, that's Berserker's race pretty much done. Lucas has gone through. I would think Yorkie... yep, there goes Yorkie. That's Warm Tyre in very hot pursuit as well. So Yorkie now promoted up to a podium position. Looks like Warm Tyre wants that podium spot from Yorkie. Spudbuster's in. Oh, 0.7 litres left in the Porsche. So, yeah, he had no choice. Where is Llama's going to go through? Llama is up to... oh, sorry, Llama's a long way off the back of Berserker as yet. Yeah, Berserker's day is dealt with. And out he goes. That's 5th then for... well, 5th at the moment. For Berserker. It is going to take pretty much some kind of major mistake from those ahead for him to close down, because he is a long way back. As you can see on the map, the white dot that's coming through Retrofidio now is Berserker, Warm Tyre, and Yorkie well on the way towards Ascari. So that's a huge gap. There it is, 40 seconds separating 4th and 5th. Well, 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 Endless, if he can make the fuel last, he's got a 25-second gap now, and he is in the lead. He's pressing on, though, 28.5. Could well make the fuel last, though. He doesn't have to press so hard. Oh, that's Warm Tyres, and Yorkie still battling. That's the set of headlights he's chasing for that last podium. He's deep into the Retifilio. Oh, and squarely on the exit as well. He's got to be careful to not push too hard and upset his fuel balance as well, because he's only got 18 litres left. Yorkie's got 24, so Yorkie's got a bit more in hand than Warm Tyre. I think Warm Tyre's going to have to back off at some point. Cornwald's in the Porsche. That's from 3rd in class. Really haven't looked at the GTEs for quite some time. Oh, was that someone? Oh, I thought that was someone going slowly there on the exit of the first Esmo. Round, I assume then, is TPW's Porsche. Yep, the cameraman was getting lost. Warm Tyre still pressing on though. He wants to get on that podium. Oh, a bit twitchy there through. Oh, Spud's in again. Oh dear, that's missing a rear wing on Spudbuster's car. Oh dear. So Spudbuster's had an argument with something. If we see someone else come in the pit soon with damage, then we might suspect it was him. Unless, of course, it was with Spud that Berserker's had a major problem. Berserker's not giving up though. And again, why should he? Working his way through the field. Less than 15 minutes remain. Endless leads by 25 seconds from Lucas. It's going to be an Audi 1-2. It was looking at an Audi 1-2-3. At one point it was an Audi top 4. Right now, Audi 1-2 followed by Toyota 3-4. Audi 5, Audi 6, and Porsche 7 and 8. All the LMP1s still going. We still have only had 3 cars drop. Wow, Yorkie getting a 29.8, 28.6 from Endless. So he's still pushing, but he's not at absolutely full crank, so I wonder whether he's just backing off to make sure the fuel amount lasts. I know I go on about the fuel, but it was looking for a while that he was going to burn it up too quick. But I do think he has backed off sufficiently. I'm not quite so convinced now that he's going to run out of fuel. So endless then. He's losing time against Lucas, but he's got a lot of time comfortably in hand to use as a bit of a buffer as he continues to work his way through the field. There is Lucas coming through Curva Grande. 22.5 seconds separates them now. And there's 34 last time. He can't afford to lose that many seconds in a lap. He want to back it off, but not by that much. Losing 3 seconds a lap, it would really eat into that. Actually, losing 3 seconds a lap, he probably, well, it would lead in closer to Lucas than he would possibly like. Was endless his lap this time. Following through, and it is 29.8, so he's only made up for that bad lap last time around. As Lucas is screaming on down towards the Parabolica. Looks like one tyre's closed back in on Yorkie. Have a look at them in a minute. Only actually 5 seconds off the back of Lucas, so if Lucas continues to have trouble, he himself could be under threat. That's a 31.5 from Lucas, so he's lost time. That's nearly 2 seconds on the back of Endless. Oh dear, 31.2 from Yorkie, at 30.5 from War Tyres, but he's right on the back of his teammate. So that's the trouble when you turn anywhere in these cars, is your hand blocks your view. You can adjust your camera view, I'm aware of that, but in this particular configuration, all you'd see is your fist. Well, that would prove if you could drive a track by memory or not. Oh, that's a bit deep. Yeah, one tyre got a little squirrely coming through Darrogia. But this is the time when you really need to push if you've got someone already ahead of you. With just over 10 minutes remaining, you don't have time on your side. Strategy's had its part to play. Oh, LMP, don't come over. There we go. One tyre and Yorkie working their way through the traffic. Oh, that's really held up. That's Marauder in the M6. Not doing anything wrong. It's just Andres. Yorkie caught him at the worst possible moment. What a move by one tyre, but he couldn't use that extra momentum. Yorkie deployed his curves perfectly to defend that third place. But one tyre is not done. Now through the Parabolica once again. Wow, that's going to be side by side as Yorkie's gone really, really wide. Look at that. One tyre can't return to the racing line. There's Yorkie in it. Oh, the nearly touch coming down to the Ratifidio. Now this is going to be a big late breaker move for one tyre. Can he slow it down? Yes, he does. That is third position then to one tyre. But he has burned up quite a bit of fuel doing that. We will see if he has to fuel save, which could then let Yorkie back through. He's not showing any sign of backing off at the moment. The top four all in the 31s. That's quite nice. Berserker. Oh, what might have been. He took on a full tank of fuel though when he came in after having that major accident. Was of course 36 seconds behind what is now Yorkie, so he'll need a bit of luck to climb up the fields a bit. Oh, Yorkie's not letting his teammate go though. Not letting his teammate go at all. Going through. Ascari once again. Keep an eye on the fuel amounts. We're on lap 72. Endless is kind of there or thereabouts. He's going to have to be careful. Lucas has got to be exceedingly careful. 9.6 litres of fuel He has got to be real careful. You can see the lap times are dropping at the top. And they are aware of how light they're running that fuel tank. Even with heavy fuel saving, it's about 1.5 to 2 litres per lap. So one of the Porsches gets out of the way. Warren Tyre has got to be very careful as well. At some point, he's got less than 9. Yorkie's got a bit more in hand at 15. So that's what I think is going to inherit Yorkie that third spot. Because surely Warren Tyre's going to have to back off at some point. Otherwise, he's going to have to park it on the side of the road. Berserker, as well, we know, has got nothing to worry about. Lama certainly has almost 21 litres still on board. Bizarchik in the Porsche, 24, and Spud. No, he's been through the pits recently, so putting that rear wing back on. I wonder how our LP2s are doing. We haven't looked at them in quite a while. There's Zenny, 26 litres on board for him. Leads class by 17 seconds over Conor McCoy. 20 litres on board for him, so he's absolutely fine. Ulti. Oh, Ulti's going to have to be careful. Only 8.4 for him. He's in the middle of a big old crowd. Nunu, last of the NP1s. 24 litres, so again, nothing to worry about there. Raging Beard, 17 litres, he should be okay. They're in 4th. He's 13 seconds behind Nunu, who is, 20 seconds behind Ulti, so there's a big gap there. Gwegwin, 5th, is about a lap and a bit behind Raging Beard. He's got 27 litres, he'll be absolutely fine. Leader of the GTEs, Dawu, 13 laps, should be okay, but a little bit closer than you probably would have liked. 11 for Andrex, he should be okay. GTEs run those bigger tanks. He's only 3 seconds off the GTE lead though, so don't discount a battle potentially there. There's Smolder in the Corvette, he's got 4 litres on, that is not going to last. Smolder has to come in again. And he's only 20 seconds, not even 20 seconds, ahead of Hunter, who's got 11 litres, so he can't push too badly. He's got a bit in hand. Cornwall, 19, he's absolutely fine in 5th. TBW, 15 litres, he should be absolutely fine in the Porsche. Oh dear, Marauder will definitely come in again with 4.5 litres in the Beamer. Lindholt, 20 litres in the Ford, he should be fine. Carbon Cutter in the other black Ford, he'll be fine with 18 litres on board. F1 Racer, who is right behind him, has got 50 litres, he's been through the pits recently as we saw. He'll be okay. And Becky and Sky with a near full tank. Someone asking, Stevie asking how big Dawu's penalty is. It is a second. So he's Dawu is not. I think Andrex is closing in on him though. So that's going to be a battle to keep an eye on. Yorkie still nailed to the back of Warren Tyre. This is exactly what we saw the other way around. Oh, Warren Tyre's gone deep again. Oh, that's close. Right. Around one of the Porsches they go. Oh, Yorkie having a look on the inside of Grande. Is that going to be third? Warren Tyre's not going to let it go yet. Ooh, side by side through Del Roger. Brilliantly done by the pair of them. Very clean. They're so tight through there, and Yorkie did it. Smolder's in. I did say he'd have to be in very soon. He only had a couple of litres left in the Corvette, so that's undone itself for him. Oh, Endless, that's so tight. 6.4 litres. Yeah, 32, I'm not surprised. Lucas, you're not going to do it. He's got 4.7 left. He can't do it. Not from there. And Marauder's in the M6. Warren Tyre, don't reckon you're going to do it either. Warren Tyre's back up to third. Yorkie probably let him go. We're going to be seeing more pit stops here. I'm convinced of it. Yorkie's got plenty in hand. He doesn't have to push too hard now. Zerker, of course, has got an absolute bucket load in hand. I don't... it's really touch and go as to whether Endless will do it. Lucas, I'm convinced, can't do it. We have got 4 minutes to go. That's about 3 laps, give or take. And we're looking at, on average, 2 litres a lap. so touch and go for Endless. He's going to have to crawl that car. Lucas, I'm not convinced. Warntire definitely can't. He won't do more than another lap. I mean, he's coming around Lesmo 1. He's only got 2.5 left on the tank now. And old T from third in the LMP2s. In he comes. There were a couple of LMP2s that were running the tank dry. Where's Endless? He's crossed the line again. 3.5 minutes. That's 3 laps. You're not going to do it. Oh, who was that? Who was that was sat still? That was a Porsche that was sat still on... Was it Brzanczyk? No. I don't know who that was that was sat still then. Where's Warntire gone? Oh, Warntire's in. So, as predicted, he couldn't do it. He ran it too close to the wire. Less than 3 minutes ago, he's in. I'm not convinced Endless is going to do it, but... it's so close. It is so close. He's just basically... Look at how little throttle he's putting in. He knows he can't push that car any harder. Lucas has got to come in. Even if he just coasted in second, you know, he just stuck in top gear and never went over 100 miles an hour, he'd never do it. He's got to come in. Endless might do it. That's so close. Yorkie will definitely do it. That I'm certain of. Is Endless going to come in? Yes! Endless has brought his car in! Endless and Endless and Lucas both are going to bring their cars in. Yorkie could do it. Yorkie could steal the win at the last. Berserker could, depending on how long these pit stops are, Berserker could well be on the podium again. In the final laps, this race is changing once again. Endless comes to stop. Just took on 4 litres and is straight back out. Lucas is just coming in. Where's Yorkie? There he is. Where's Endless? Endless hasn't got off the pit lane limiter. Yorkie is in the lead. It's gonna be final lap just about. They won't quite beat the flag, but Endless has got to absolutely gun it now to get that lead back. Yorkie's got easily enough. They've both got identical amounts of fuel. 3.5 seconds. That is the gap that Endless has got to get. Lucas is still on the pit lane limiter. Berserker won't quite beat him, I don't think. No, Lucas has come off the pit lane limiter. Berserker now has a target. Berserker is still at racing speed. That ahead is Lucas, and he will know that, so he's got a target to chase. We're on lap 77. That is Yorkie, who's just taken over the lead. Endless. A quick splash and dash has cost him the potential victory. Berserker is on the back of Lucas. Lucas taking it very easy. Oh, Berserker is determined to get back on the podium. He could do it. Lucas has overcooked it on the exit of the Del Rogia. And Berserker has gone through into third. He's got him. Before they even get to the first Lesmo, Berserker back up into the podium. Andrex has had to bring his car in as well, so it's going on across the board. Yorkie, the checkered flag is out. Yorkie has done it with the slightly bigger tank, with 4.3 litres still in the Toyota. Your winner here in Monza is Yorkie. There is Endless bringing his car home, bouncing it off the wall. Berserker is going to get on the podium. What an incredible recovery for Berserker. He's right in. That's actually Lucas on his tail, so he can't let up just yet. Oh, that's Lucas really flying a long way out and actually pushing an LMP2 home. I think Lucas has let that one go. Berserker takes the final podium spot. Lucas for Warntire will come home in 5th. What an incredible finish. That's Zenny leading the LMP2s. He is going to take the class win for LMP2. There is Zenny. Where is Dawu? On the exit of Ascari. Zenny takes the LMP2 win and smashes his car into the wall. Colonel McCoy is actually behind Dawu. They're going to come across the line pretty close together. That's Andrex, who had to do a splash and dash. He's already actually crossed the line, so he has already secured the victory. Colonel McCoy, I think, is going to be the last man across the line. Class win for Dawu. Great job to User. And a class win for Zenny. Second to Colonel McCoy. Oh no, there's still someone going out there. Nunu? No, Nunu stopped. What an incredible finish. Yorkie with a masterstroke of strategy, taking the win. Endless. Oh, what might have been. So here it is then, your confirmed finish. Of course, bearing in mind the Warntire does have that 30-second penalty. Oh, it's now 37 seconds. Yorkie with the win by 1.9 seconds over Enders. Berserker, what an incredible recovery drive for him in third. Lucas for Warntire, of course, that the third and fourth good swap position because of Warntire's penalty. They're in fifth. Llama 6th, Brazantic 7th, and Spudbuster rounding out, Nunu rounding out the LMP1s. Zenny taking the class win for LMP2 with Colonel McCoy second, Alti third, Raging Beer 4, and Gregwin rounding out the LMP2s. And in the GTEs, Dawu once again, even with that 1 second penalty, didn't lose the lead. Andrex with that very last splash and dash, costing him a potential GTE win. But he brings the Aston home second, Hunter third, Cornwall 4, Smolder 5, TBW 6, Marauder 7, F1 Racer 8, Lindholt 9, Carbon Cutter 10, and Flecky and Sky in last. Whew. Let's see if anybody wants to talk to me. That was amazing. No one has made themselves ready for interview, and I'm not entirely surprised. I'm not going to force the issue though, because these guys have been going for quite a while. I don't just randomly drag people into the commentary box. If they don't want to have a post-race interview, I can perfectly understand that. But I suspect that there are several very happy people in Discord right now, and you know what? I think I'm going to leave them to their celebrations. They have done an amazing job in the race this evening, and there you go as we return back to server. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us throughout the stream. Those that have been with us from beginning to end is always very much appreciated. A great honour and a pleasure to stream for you guys. Thank you very much to our drivers for putting on what has been an incredible start to this Endurance League season. My name's been King-Kodiak, and I will see you back here for more AOR action. Thank you very much, and good night.